Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how I use AI to break down government contracts and solicitations. So let's get into it. What I use mostly for government contracting to find, understand, and write proposals for government contracts is samsearch.co, and I'm going to show you exactly how I break down solicitations like I said. So first I have to find the opportunity. So let's say it's a construction and renovation government contract and opportunity. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to filter by because that's what I want, and it understands what I mean. So it makes it easier to find government contracts this way. So I can come to this one and I can see if I can quickly make a bid or no bid decisions based on the summary I have. Government contracts, usually solicitations, have this weird titles. Sometimes they have numbers, they have things that are not easy to understand in titles. I'm sure if you're in the space, you know what I'm talking about. So a summary makes it easy for me to understand whether I want to bid on this or not. So in this case, this opportunity is the Department of Defense, and I see they've issued a solicitation for the renovation of a dorm building in New Jersey. The deadline is February 10th, 2025. So I have some time, and it's a set aside for small business, which is perfect for me. It's a SBA, small business set aside, and this includes information like the scope of work, the construction, renovation, living space. So this sounds like a good opportunity for me. I can click on it, and now I can further look into this. I can see that this is, like I said, it's a total small business set aside, which is good. The place of performance is in Jersey, and then we can have a look at the description. I see there's a lot of attachments, and that's where I show you how I exactly quickly understand this opportunity using AI. So you can come here and click on chat with this opportunity, and it's it has knowledge of all the attachments and the description, um, and this is the steps I take to break it down step by step. So I'll have this document for free in the description, so you could use it if you use any different AI software. But the step one is the analysis, just trying to get an understanding of what exactly is being asked, asked basic details, key sections, the numbers, just get an overview of the opportunity. So the first thing I'm going to ask is analyze the government solicitation documents provided. And actually, I'll do more. I'll do this all in one go, and I'm going to say summarize the key sections, including the solicitation number, a type of contract, statement of work, period of performance, and deliverables. I'm going to take this, come here and paste it. So now it's writing a summary of the key sections. What it did, since it has a lot of attachments, it has to go through all of this to come up with an answer like this. So we get the solicitation number, we get the type of contract, that it's a firm fixed price contract. The statement of work, the project involves demolition, construction, renovation, and associated work to upgrade living conditions in dormitories located in building 2424. The key tasks including refurbishing bathrooms and bedrooms, relocating telecom rooms, upgrading hallways, installing new electrical services, and hazardous material removal. Period of performance is a period of a year, 65 days, scheduled to start on April 30th, 2025, and ends on April 29, 2026. Deliverables include all materials and services necessary to complete the renovation work, as described in the statement of work. And then a solicitation is set aside for small businesses and estimated to cost between $10 million and $25 million. Well, I saw that here it mentioned firm fixed price contract. So let's say I don't understand what that is. I could just say explain in one sentence what means. So it doesn't have to be only questions about what's in the documents. It could be questions about any questions you have in general. So it explained to me what the firm fixed price means, type of government contract where the price is established and not subject to change. So it's irrelevant to what our cost, how much it costs us. The price is firm and is set. Okay, so now we get a basic idea of the statement of work, period of performance. Obviously, you could dwell on this more. If you want more details about the statement of work, you can do that. But what I want to do is I want to highlight any deadlines inside visit information. So let's ask that. Okay, so the deadline for questions, all questions must be submitted before December 18th, 2024. There's a site visit scheduled on December 10th, 2024. And then proposal deadline is February 10th, 2025. Okay, so now we get an idea of the deadlines for questions, deadlines for site visits. Now we want to move on. We think this is a good opportunity. Now we can move on to step two and evaluate if it's what are the evaluation criteria, what things I'll be judged on. So I'm gonna take this, break down the evaluation criteria and terms and conditions from the government solicitation documents. Okay, so the factor one, we can see here, the factor one for evaluation criteria is past performance. So this way I know I have to highlight that a lot in my proposal because it means that it's a factor they care about. The second thing is the price. So I know I have to provide a competitive price to have a competitive bid. And then the evaluation process will begin with compliance review of the lowest priced offer. Okay, so I have to offer a really good price. And proposals will be ranked by price and then evaluated for past performance. If the lowest priced offer has a performance rating of substantial confidence, it will be awarded the contract. If not, evaluation will continue up the price rank until a suitable offer is found or all offers have been evaluated. Okay, so it's a combination of two things. It means that I really have to submit a competitive price and I have to establish a strong profile as a company with my past performances so they don't go beyond my price point if they see that I'm not a good fit. Um, so for past performances, they lay out what exactly they care about. Only recent and relevant contract performances will be reviewed, specifically contracts that have been awarded, completed, or ongoing within the last 5 years, with a value no less than $3 million. I think I would only list if I was submitting a bid for this, I would only list relevant recent that within that range, and I would try to highlight things that have been done to any government agency because for sure they're going to have bias for that. So I could get a confidence vote and be selected for this. Obviously, when it comes to contracts like this, even though it's set for small business, the range, as you've seen, it's in millions and millions of dollars. So it's very important that you dwell into the details with this. So don't just take this and um, keep going. Dwell into the questions. Ask it as much questions as possible. Okay. So now it mentions the bid security, the government rights. The government reserves the right to reject any proposal deemed unacceptable. You could ask any questions. Obviously, there's a site visit. You can go and check the site itself that you have to renovate. And then you obviously have to be compliant with the regulations of equal opportunity clause and contract clause. We could ask here, what are these? But I'm not going to take too much time of this video. So the second thing I want to ask, how it kind of in the answer, it shed light into how proposals will be judged, but I want more details. So I'm going to ask how proposals are judged and list all the necessary representations and certifications required to submit a proposal. So let's do that. Okay, so we see it's no surprise to us that two things are very important to them, which is past performances and price. So now I know in my proposal I'm going to be highlighting those two things the most. And when I'm writing a proposal, I'm going to try to highlight it in the section in the beginning where I summarize everything, and then I'm going to start with that and highlight it in the beginning, just so I can show that I have a solid price and my past performances from the beginning, so I just don't waste the opportunity to drag it long before I address these points. We've read this part about price evaluation, and then there are these required representation and certification. So you have to be a small business, obviously. You have to be registered in SAM, and then you have to have the disclosure regarding payments to influence certain federal transactions for $150,000 or more. So you have to cover these. You can ask about each one of these, obviously, get more details on it. Even you can see the reference, the source where this information is coming from. So you could go and read that document if you want. It's in the attachments here. But this way it makes it easier to pinpoint which exact document it got that information from. Well, now We want to get more information on pricing structure and terms of payments. Obviously, now we're getting more into details because so far we're interested in this. The nice thing about this is you could be done with this solicitation from step one once you summarize everything. And if you don't see that it's a good fit, you can move on. Instead of spending a lot of time going through these just to find which one matches the document that you need to read to figure out this information. But in this case, we're interested, and that's why we're going more into this. So the pricing structure is firm fixed price, which we got from the summary initially, and now we understand what it is. Detailed breakdown of all the costs. So we have to divide it into labor, material, equipment, subcontractor cost. Obviously, this is for construction companies. This is the norm, but it might be different for them because it's a government contract and they think there's a lot to it. This would make it easier. Um, the government, so for terms of payment, the government will make progress payments monthly based on approved estimate of work accomplished. The contractor must provide documentation with progress payment requests, including itemization of completed work, subcontractor payments, and additional supporting data. And then the final payment will be processed only after the completion and the acceptance of all work. Uh, I think that's pretty standard. Payment will be made electronically, and the government considers payment made on the date a check is dated or when an electronic funds transfer occur. Okay, interest penalty. If payments are late, interest will be based on regulation. So now we know how we would be receiving payments if we were to be awarded this. Now we want to get into the final step, which is getting ready to submit a proposal. So what I'd like to ask is, I would like to get details on the instructions for the offer us provided in the solicitation. What are the instructions that we have to kind of adhere to when we're looking at this opportunity? Okay, so the proposal submission, we're getting here information that it should be submitted um, in electronic format via email to the designated point of contact. Hard copies are not accepted. By the way, these small things you might think, obviously, but this would make or break a big contract like this. If you make the mistake and not submit it through email, all of your hard work is gone. So it's very important to understand the details. And it might be a lot when it comes to solicitations like this, where you have all of these attachments. And obviously, a lot is at stake with this opportunity. We're talking about millions and millions of dollars. But small details like this are very important. And this way, you make sure that you're not missing out on any major detail. So proposal content, the first page of the proposal should include the solicitation number, contract details, a statement of agreement with solicitation terms. So we have to agree to the terms. Obviously, the terms would be laid out here. If you utilize AI, it will be easy to capture those details. Obviously, we have a proposal generation, but that's for a different video. These things would be captured in our proposal. Now, for late proposals, it says that if you submit after the due date, it will be classified as late and may not be considered. This way, you would probably have to submit a really solid offer for them to even consider you. There's, as we've seen, a deadline for clarification for questions. You can withdraw your proposal, you can have joint venture, and you have to acknowledge the amendments. So now let's explain the format and method for submitting a proposal, including any electronic submission guidelines. We know already that this has to be submitted through email, but sometimes they have weird guidelines that you have to follow. Sometimes they have multiple contact emails. In this case, they do. So you have primary contact and secondary contact. You want to know which email you need to submit to. So it's important that you know if it's through email, which one of these people you need to submit the proposal to. Sorry. And then, okay, we know it has to be submitted electronically, and then the format requirement. Volume 1 is the contract documents, Volume 2 is the past performance, and Volume 3 is the price, the three main things that are very important in this solicitation. Volume 1 must include completed forms, so we have this form. And then you have the proposal content organization, first page, as we've seen. Page limitation, Volume 2 has 30-page limit, so we don't want to exceed that. Some agencies are actually strict about these, so you want to adhere by those as much as you can. Obviously, deadlines are very important, and then the a visitor control procedure. Individuals not affiliated with the installation must obtain a visitor pass. That's pretty standard for government agencies. Finally, we want to list any point of contact they have in the attachments. Sometimes, in most government contracts, they have the primary contract and secondary contract here, and in some search they list them always here. But sometimes they're more emails for example, if you have any questions, they might have a different email, stuff like that. So it's always better to make sure we're getting the list of point of contacts, just in case it's not just these two. Okay, so we get that the point of contact is actually Jasmine and Wanda, and information required for request, we have to include the company name, visitor name, the limitation. There's only a limit of three people for site visit schedule, and then we get the site schedule date and time and location. I'll have this document in the description. I think it will make your life easier if you're in government contracting and you're analyzing all these opportunities. Obviously, there's a lot of opportunities in construction and any other field. And once you want to go through federal, and then we also have state, local, and education, there's a lot of government contracts and opportunities that you have to analyze as a business. So this will make it easier to make a bid, no bid decision from the get-go, from the summary we have here. And then if you want to dive more deeper into it and understand which documents are relevant, which things that you need to focus on, and makes your life much easier. You can try SAM Search for free for 7 days. The link will be in the description below. And I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching.